to another episode of OATS Uncut, Orator Academy Talks Uncut. We are unscripted, unfiltered, uncut conversations. And as I remind you in every episode, why do we like it this way? Because life is just simpler and easier and more organic that way. So why not? So here we are. What do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about something that we feel, everybody feels, you feel it, I feel it. It's being talked about at games, at funerals, in movies. And I'll share some clips with you which caught my attention as I'm just laying back leisurely at home and watching some TV. I watched this movie, Maid in Manhattan, Maid as in M-A-I-D, featuring Jennifer Lopez. And in one of the scenes, she's talking about her son who has this gripping fear of public speaking. And she actually says that I don't know, he's so fearful of speaking in front of an audience that he just freezes up. And the last time he was put in that position, he actually dashed off the stage. And she is wondering how she can help him with it and where does that fear come from. The thing is, we've all gone through that journey. We all have felt that fear. Sometimes we know what it is, sometimes we acknowledge what it is, and sometimes we just do not. Sometimes we just beat ourselves down and say, hey, there is something wrong with me. I lack confidence. So instead of beating yourself down by finding and pointing things that you lack, we will discuss what we need to do to counter that fear. So watch that clip, see what I'm talking about, and then we'll talk about it.
He's been a little down lately. Yeah, and then yesterday he gave a speech at school and he messed it up and it's bad.
Speeches can be tricky. What happened?
Well, I don't know. He just kind of froze and ran off stage, and now he has this thing about speaking in public. He's all freaked out.
Well, I always get nervous before I go on, you know.
Really?
Yeah. Well, not always, just sometimes.
In 2019, when Naomi Osaka won the Australian Open and she was called upon the center court to be given the trophy, she was mumbling, she was fumbling for words, and actually she came out clearly and said to the audience that I am not very good at public speaking. I fear public speaking, but I'm going to give it my best shot. So sometimes people do that to lower the expectations. So I don't know what her intention may have been, but as you watch that clip, which I will be sharing here as well, you see how often she stumbles and she fumbles and the filler sounds of the ums and the uhs that we all try to omit from our speech because they dilute our message. So you'll see that, but she did go through the entire speech. She did manage to say what she wanted to say and thank people she wanted to thank. So again, we'll talk about what strength she showed as she carried herself through that moment, which she openly came out and acknowledged in front of the very large audience that it was hard on her. Watch it and then we'll talk about it.
Hello. Sorry, public speaking isn't really my strong side, so I just hope I can get through this. Huge congrats to you, Petra. I've always wanted to play you, and you've been through so much, and honestly, I wouldn't have wanted this to be our first match. Yeah, huge congrats to you and your team, and you're really amazing, and I'm really honored to have played you in the final of a Grand Slam. Sorry. I want to thank you guys for coming and watching. Thank you. It's really hot all the time, so honestly, Oh, thank you. Even though it's really hot, you guys still come and show support, so I really want to show my gratitude for you. Yeah, and then thank you to Craig, the tournament director, the ball kids running around in the heat, the umpires, the volunteers, everyone. You make this tournament possible, so I want to thank you guys too, and thanks to my team. Yeah, I don't think I would have made it through this week without you guys, and behind a tennis player is always a team, and I'm really grateful, so thank you guys. Yeah, and I read notes before this, but I still forgot the rest of what I'm supposed to say. So just thank you, everyone, and I'm really honored to have played in this final, so yeah, thank you.
So we see a common theme in both the clips. This fear of judgment, the societal pressure of all eyes on you and everybody's expectations of you or us. I go through that too. I'm a public speaking coach, and I am often put on a spot to just stand up and speak off the cuff extemporaneously. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now. But I've got to have faith in myself. I know my stuff. I should be able to deliver it. And also, if I can just keep my eyes on the target, what am I there for? What is my job? What is the purpose of me being in that position and speaking? You forget about yourself. Focus on the task at hand. So this fear of judgment, the vulnerability that it makes you feel is quite debilitating, and this whole thing of lack of confidence. So let's talk about how to fix all of that. 1, deep breathing. And often when I say that to students, the response I get is, I am breathing. How do you think I am alive? Yes, you are breathing. I'm not denying that. We all are. But to calm your nerves, deep breathing is magical. So sit yourself down, close your eyes, and take a deep inhalation in. Hold it for a couple of seconds and exhale the exact same duration or more, or even if it's less, it's okay. But try to match the duration of the inhalation and the exhalation, and you will feel almost instant calm in your head. So that's number 1. I'm going to give you 6 points. So hang on, make notes if you want to. 1, breathe. That calms your nerves down. When you breathe, when you feel calm, your head space gets cleared up. You think better, you speak better, and you actually sound better. Number 2, know that making mistakes is normal. Making mistakes is what makes you human. So go on. Make all mistakes that you can, because every mistake builds you up. Like I say to my students, success makes you stronger, but failure makes you smarter. So with every mistake that you make, you show that tenacity to have taken that opportunity and run with it. Yes, you stumbled and you fell and it didn't go out as good as you wanted it to be, but at least you gave it a shot. And now you know what it entails, and now you know what you need to bring when you play this game the next time. So, number 1 was breathe. Number 2 is know that making mistakes is what makes you human. Number 3, start small. What I mean by that is that don't wait for that one big moment to present itself and say, well, you know, when I go up the stage to receive that award, I'll show my public speaking prowess, and I'll show how good I can do this and how well I've been practicing. Well, practice in smaller settings. Go out and practice in smaller settings. At the dinner table, at family meetups, in gatherings with friends, at social events. Practice, practice, practice. When you start curbing those ums and ahs, when you start practicing your clarity of your speech, the modulation, the projection, the ethos, pathos, logos, all the good stuff that we talk about theoretically, when you start applying it in your day-to-day conversations and conduct, then it comes naturally to you. When you are in that public forum with the thousands in the audience that you have always envisioned or hoped that you'll get to that level one day, that you'll be facing those thousands of audience, you will be a star. You will be a star. Number 4, reframe the moment. Don't make it what it isn't. Reframe the moment in your mind. Don't take it or don't see it as something that you need to be fearful of. Think of the task. Think of the task. Think of your target. Think of your goal. Think of your audience. What are you there for? What are you speaking about? And what do you want the audience to retain? It does not matter how well you've researched. It'll only matter, your research will only matter if you can make the audience retain what you have shared with them. And that retention will only happen if you have their attention, if you have their interest. And that will only happen if you are able to establish that connection with them. So reframe the moment. Don't make it that ghost or that demonic moment in your mind. Think of it, embrace it with pleasure, with anticipation, with excited anticipation, not with fear. Positive, positive, positive. Number 5, storytelling. If you can bring in some relevant key stories into your conversation with your audience, it always helps bring the point home. Stories are entertaining. Stories are exciting. Stories can be gripping. It depends on the story and how you deliver it. So if you can find stories that drive the point home, that make it simpler for the audience to understand what you are trying to get at, it's a win-win, because stories are fun to even tell. So as you engage in storytelling, you enjoy, because it's easier than talking business, right? So when you do it yourself, you enjoy doing it, you enjoy engaging in storytelling, and your audience enjoys listening to you. So master the craft of storytelling. It's fun, it's a win-win. Lastly, number 6, know that progress is better than perfection. Slow and steady will win the race. When I started to record my first ever selfie video, this was about over 10 years ago, I was struggling with it. I was seeing myself on camera and I hated the way I looked. I hated what I was doing with my hands, and my attention was going to my hair and many other things. And I was just finding faults in how I appeared on camera. I just could not go beyond a few seconds, and I kept pausing, kept stopping the video. Days passed by, months passed by, and then I was just discussing with somebody, and that person was very carefully and patiently listening to my story of how I suck at recording these videos. And she looked at me when I was done and smiled and said, "What are you afraid of? Perfection? Know that done is better than perfect." So that stuck in my mind. A word of wisdom that came out of a random casual chat, casual conversation, gave me so much clarity. So yes, done is better than perfect, but I'm not going to get just done with things to be done with them. No, I believe that progress en route to being done is better than just pausing and slowing down to make it to that level of perfection. Perfection will come eventually. We've got to stay consistent. We've got to persevere. Let's recount the 6 points that we've talked about. 1, breathe. 2, making mistakes makes you human. 3, start small. Don't wait for that big moment to arrive. It will arrive. 4, reframe the moment. It's not about you. It's about the moment, the place, the people. Number 5, storytelling. Tell stories. Enjoy telling them. Engage and captivate the attention of the audience. And number 6, progress over perfection. You will get there as long as you're patient, you're passionate, and you persevere. Thank you for tuning in to OATS Uncut. Thank you for your love. Stay tuned. Share content with us, share ideas, share thoughts. If you have any questions, send them along. We'd be happy to address. Take care of yourselves, stay well, stay safe. Remember to love and to laugh and have a blast. Ciao for now.